sky, and the light will guide you. Running the wild, that's where I'll find you. Open your mind to all that binds you. Look for the story to unfold inside.
Okay, we should be up and running. So, what's up to everybody that's tuning in? I'm going to try and do these fairly frequently. I notice that a lot of people want to know more about Juri as players that are trying to get into her, or as people that are trying to understand the character. Maybe that play against her. So, um, I wanted to take some time and break down like certain aspects of playing Juri as a character. Um, into short little lessons, and I figure giving it about a 1 hour time would be a good way to go ahead and start off. So tonight, it might be a little unorthodox. I don't have everything absolutely planned out like I was wanting to do, to where I've got like detailed descriptions of everything that I'm wanting to say. I've got an idea on what I want to talk about, so hopefully I can get through to everything that I'm wanting to do in that time. Hopefully everybody can learn something from that. So for tonight's topic, it's going to be about transitioning Juri from Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 2012 into the new version of Ultra Street Fighter 4. Now, there was a lot of changes that happened to Juri going from 2012 to Ultra. A lot of them are really big changes. Due to this, you're going to start seeing a lot more Juri players in top levels. I've noticed that if you're catching Infiltration stream, he's actually been using Juri a lot. So hopefully I can break down not only the changes that happen and why you're probably going to be seeing some more of her. I think she's a really strong character in the game right now. I put her in the top 10. Probably around 8 or 9 is where I would put her right now, because some of the changes she got are actually really, really good, and I don't think people have understand it yet. So, let's go ahead, we'll get in here, and we'll start with this. The first change that I want to talk about with Juri is her far stand medium punch. Now, this was a huge change. It was absolutely the best change that happened to her in this version, in my opinion. What ended up happening was Juri had her far stand medium punch to be special cancelable. So I'll show you. Far medium punch is being that move right there. Okay. Now in 2012, that was it. If you hit it, that was all you got from it. Now you could use it to tag on a little bit of extra damage. Like for example in Feng Shui, you can do a fireball charge into that. That was pretty much it. Now, why is this such a big change? Well, you can now do something like that. You can special cancel it into that. You can special cancel it into light kick pinwheels. Excuse me. So it's pretty big for a couple reasons. The first being this move moves her forward. So you're going to get combos that you might not have been able to get before. Well, Rufus was a bad character. For example, in the footsie range, crouch medium kick, you want to get it right about there for crouch medium kick with Juri. Okay? But in that same range that you can do crouch medium kick, let's see, it's whipping right here. Oops, well, it moves her forward a little bit. Now it hits. Far stand medium punch is actually a little bit farther of a range than crouch medium kick because of the fact that it moves her forward a little bit. Now, crouch medium kick and far medium kick all have the same startup, which is going to be 6 frames. So anything that you're going to try and use as that, you can also use for that as well. So the fact that it gets you in a little bit closer can actually make a bit of a difference, especially if you're buffering it. Let's say you're trying to, do the little footsie dance on somebody, and then you can, whiff. There you go. Now look at it pushes you back off of that, you get the distance, and you get a little bit closer to hit confirm that. So from a footsie standpoint, it's actually really good. Now, one of the things that makes it really, really good is it's technically a damage buff for Juri. Now, they didn't actually change the damage on far medium punch. It still hits, 100 or 80? Okay? Now, here's where the damage buffs comes in. Yo, what's up? The damage buff with Juri comes in because, like I said before, you've got your distances and that hits a little bit more. Well, that's 80 damage, that's 60 damage, which means in the combos that you were going to be using crouch medium kick for, you can now use far medium punch. So a very common one is going to be Okay, so that gives you 196 damage, but if you use the new far stand medium punch, you now get 212. That's a good chunk of damage just for changing it to one button. It really puts it just that little bit of over the edge, especially with Juri, and the fact that every tiny little bit that you can get and push people away is better, because then that's less you have to worry about getting later on. Okay, so sorry about that. So you've got the damage buff from using this new normal. Okay. On top of that, let's say for example, whoops, fucked it up. That whiffs, okay? That was not a combo. You only got 198 damage off of it. Now let's use the new one. You now have got 149. You have got a 61 point damage buff by switching over to the far medium punch. So it's a huge, huge change. One last thing to talk about it is that if you've got somebody in the corner, it really, really puts on her pressure game. Due to the fact that now, most people had to do, you know, let's say a typical block string with Juri. You've got them in the corner. Okay, actually. So you're going in. Whoops. You're doing this. You know, you've got all your block strings that you're doing. Oops. Oh, I think my button's going out. So you've got your block strings. Okay, and that's it. You've now been pushed out. Look at that. You're almost 2 blocks away from Rufus right now because we did crouch medium kick. Now, let's do this again. You can get... Look at all this pressure that you get to do. You might have to walk forward slightly, but look at all this. You're getting half of a block with everyone, almost half a block of coming in. Your footsie range is a lot better with that, especially her pressure in the corner. See, look at all that, all this pressure that you get on them. Now, there are going to be frame traps, so you're going to have to worry about people that are going to be DPing you to break through, but your pressure game has now been upped. You now can do more with Juri because of the far stand medium punch. Absolutely the best buff in Ultra that Juri got. I think it was amazing. Like, it was something I wasn't even thinking that they would give her. It wasn't even on my radar. Absolutely happy. I try to abuse that as much as I can. You know, say you get a pinwheel, do that a couple times, you've now carried in safely by only doing a normal. Okay. So we've got that. The next buff that I want to talk about for Juri was her EX pinwheel change. In 2012,
who will walk away victorious?
EX pinwheel was 7-frame startup. Okay. And it was only invincible on frames 1 to 6, leaving frame 7 able to be hit. Okay, unless you're in Feng Shui Engine, that was actually a change from Arcade Edition to version 2012. They actually made it to where in Feng Shui you had it fully invincible, but it was still pretty. Because I mean, a lot of people can throw out normals that will be active on what would be that frame, that frame that you got going on. Let's see if I can set this up. A good example was Sakura. If she got a knockdown, she can do light kick Tatsu pressure on Juri, and it would beat almost every one of her options. You would have to do something like low profile with crouch medium kick to try and make it whiff, but it would actually beat EX pinwheel. So let's see if I can get this set up. Let's see if I did that right. So it goes over. Oh. Okay, so I must have so I must have done that wrong. Let's see if we can set it up again, because I want to show you how. I'm trying to remember what the setup is that they usually do. Oops. Okay. Probably should have tested this, is what I'm meaning about how we're a little bit unorthodox on getting everything set up for tonight. But in that situation, she could, excuse me, actually light kick Tatsu, and it would stuff the EX pinwheel. So it would beat the EX pinwheel, reversal EX pinwheel option. It would beat your EX counter because light kick Tatsu would armor break. It would beat throws. It would beat normals just because of how meaty it was. Now, in 2012, I'm sorry, in Ultra, that 7th frame that you were able to get hit on is now invincible. So just like in Feng Shui Engine was in version 2012, to where it was fully invincible, that is the way that all EX pinwheels are working now with Juri in Ultra Street Fighter 4. So let's see if we can set this up. Let's see if we can back her into the corner. Still got the same setup, so I'm sure it's still going to EX pinwheel over. Yeah. So you're gonna have to use your imagination on this one. I should have done a little bit more research on Sakura, but in Ultra, so you've got that now. So like pressures that are going to be in, like let's say for example Balrogs that are jabbing you or anything like that, you now have an actual wake up reversal now. It's still negative. In fact, it's even more negative. Another change they did, it used to be negative 14 on block. So if they blocked, it was negative 14. It's now negative 15, so it's even more punishable. On top of that, here, let me see. Take this off. On top of that, they've added in a vacuuming thing. So I'm going to do crouch medium kick EX pinwheel, and you're going to see how Sakura gets pushed into me. You see how she moved in closer now to me? So that means that on top of EX pinwheel already being even more punishable, they're going to be closer to get even bigger damage. I used to be able to, with Juri, you used to be able to do like that. You used to be able to catch them and they couldn't punish it. Now they can. But that said, you now have a better reversal to get out. You just have to be careful to not always go to it, because eventually you're going to start getting baited. You're going to get, all kinds of punishes. I mean, it's even ultra punishable by like a lot of the cast. So it's not always a go-to thing that you want to have, but it is something that you do have in your arsenal now as far as dealing with other people. So another thing that EX Pinwheel being fully invincible now is going to be the fact that it actually can be used as an anti-air now. So let me see. I was playing against another Juri player that lives here in California online, and he hadn't really done much work with the EX Pinwheel yet. And I told him, hey, it's a good anti-air. So we're playing the mirror match, and we're a little bit separated apart. We're throwing fireballs, everything that you would expect from a typical Juri matchup. Okay? Now, he decided to do a full screen dive kick. Okay? So now, the good thing about it with EX Pinwheel, you're not going to be able to catch stuff like that. It can be used as a better anti-air, say if you're unsure of the range, due to the fact that not only does it hit in front and on top of her, it actually hits a little bit behind her head as well. So if you're unsure about some cross-ups, but you're pretty sure it's not a safe jump, you can throw an EX Pinwheel out, and because of the invincibility now, it's going to shoot the player if they're behind you, probably all the way behind you, which has got you distance. And being as heavy of a zoning character that Juri can be, that actually can be a really good thing. So with EX Pinwheel being like that, you've got tons of things that you can do now with situations. You've got the ability to get out of pressure now. If you're afraid to use EX counter, you've got all kinds of other things that you can do with it. So it was actually a really good buff. Usually whenever people are talking about Juri, they're mentioning her EX Pinwheel buff right off the bat. Now, still very good. Like I said, you now have got options. It's 6 frames, so it's a lot easier to be safe jump, but now people might have to worry about it just like they might would a Ryu DP on Wake Up. So it is something that has definitely helped Juri in her game, make her more of a threat, especially whenever she gets knocked down. Because as if you play Juri, once she gets knocked down and people can put pressure on her, it actually can get pretty bad for her. Low stun, well, female character stun, low health, can make it pretty bad. And a lot of characters rely on just getting the knockdown and running some kind of vortex like a Buki or Cammy and just hoping that that carries them the whole way. Well, with this, they're now going to have to make sure that they're not going to get hit by the EX pinwheel. They're going to have to make sure that their safe jumps are on point so that they can bait the EX pinwheel out, because if they're a little bit sloppy, they got knocked out and they're going to have to work their way back in again trying to get that knockdown. So it's actually a really, really good buff. Definitely helps her out. Something else that Juri got in Ultra is they actually changed the hurt box on her standing jab. Okay, now it used to whiff on a lot of characters that were crouching. Let's see if I can remember. Still can't. So stand jab. It is a 4-frame normal. The startup of it is 4 frames. It actually is the most positive normal that Juri has as far as on hit and on block. On block it is +4, on hit it is +7. So, you know, it was definitely good. Now in 2012, look at that. That is not hitting at all. That whiffs absolutely on Cammy, which sucks because now you're going to have to go to that which is not so positive, that which is a little bit, you know, a little bit better. That one's +3, +2. So you've got those normals that you had to go to. That's even if you're unaware. Close medium punch is actually -1 on block, which is why most people will cancel it into a fireball just to make it safer. So that worked. And considering how many pixie characters I got in the game, I mean, look at Juri. She's like that too, if I'm not mistaken it with whiff. So stand jab being whiffing on there messed up a lot of it due to the fact that was supposed to be her normal. I mean, it's everybody's jab's supposed to be good. Granted that Juri is more of a Taekwondo kick character, so everyone goes for the kicks more. But it definitely made it to where Juri was missing a lot of pressure from it. I mean, how many times have you been playing against a soccer where they just jab, walk, jab, walk, jab, walk? So now that we're into 2012, they changed the hitbox. Look at that. Now we're hitting. So now that they've changed that, that allows you to put a little bit more pressure. Because like I said, -4, or +4. So what does that open up? Well, that opens up a few things, okay? First off, it opens up some new frame traps on Juri. Whereas before, that would just whiff, you now, like I said, you know, I've got the ability, let's say for example, you've got somebody in the corner, okay? Well, like I said, +2, 4-frame startup, which now means that's a frame trap. I should probably set this over. Okay, so you've got that as a frame trap. Okay, now, +4 on block. Juri has a lot of 6-frame normals, okay? That's 6 frame, that's 6 frame, that's 6 frame. I think that's 6 frame, so no. Now you've got all these frame traps that open up. So now it actually gives Juri a lot more pressure that you can do. Let's actually let's go ahead and test these out. So you've got even more pressure. Like I said earlier, for stand medium punch, especially when you get somebody in the corner, the pressure just get crazy. So you've got even more of, actually, let's go up. So you've got more that you can do with this character, especially whenever you've got people trapped in the corner, which is a huge place for Juri. Juri is probably one of the best corner pressure characters in this game. So, with the ability to open up 2 brand new frame traps, whereas before you only had to do, here, let's see. Before your only frame trap was with the close, okay? So we oh, that's right, that's right. That's not even. Oops. Yeah, it's not really. Here, let me see if I can get in to the corner. See if I can show this a little bit better. Come on. Ha! Did I do it? Okay. So, now that you've got this as a... Really? See? Counter hit. Now if they're mashing... If they're mashing... Oops. Did it too early. Ooh, okay. Maybe I didn't do it as tight as I thought. So, like I said, should have probably tested this stuff out more, but it is, oh, no. I know why. So, this is why we were testing it, is because of, the new frame traps. So now we've got... Let me dash first so I can get it in. So, now we've got new frame traps. Oh man, I'm looking like a fool on my stream right now. See if I can get this tighter. Let's try for a throw instead. Yeah, come on. Huh. Oh, I know why I'm waiting for it to say counter hit. It's not going to say counter hit because counter hit's only going to happen on the... Oh no, it won't. It will. Okay. So we saw it there. Counter hits. So, there we go. So, counter hit set up. So, you've got more counter hits, which means obviously more pressure. So that's always good for Juri, especially in a game like this where doing pressure, especially when you need to, say you got the life lead, and you really want to like narrow it down. You think that the person, you know, because they're down, they're going to start pressing more buttons. This is definitely something that's going to help out with the pressure game for Juri. So stand jab is actually good. Now, let me show you one last thing about the stand jab. Sadly, something that Capcom did going from Arcade Edition to 2012, they forgot to change some properties in Feng Shui Engine. So Feng Shui Engine is Juri's Ultra 1. It allows you the ability to basically chain all of her normals as long as you're going from like the low normals up high. So like light, medium, heavy, you can go up. So, one of the things that they forgot to do was they forgot to change... Oh, let me get her to block. So, like we said, we already saw that this is now hitting, whereas before it didn't. Now, look at that. That is just as if it was like in 2012. So, especially considering the pressure that Juri can do, it's very disheartening change that they forgot to add. So, for example, like you were doing, that could have been a really nice block string. Excuse me. So, you're going to have to be careful with that. You're still going to have to... You're probably going to want to go with, like, some kind of a pressure block string in order until they get it fixed. Now, I did talk to Combo Fiend when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, specifically about this, and he said they're aware of it. They think that with changing some of the properties on other things, it might have delayed this as well. They might have just completely forgot about it. But they are aware of it, so hopefully it is going to get changed soon. So hopefully we can get something. What are my thoughts on Legate's Juri? So, Legate is a local player here. He's been picking up Juri Actually, this is probably Legate here, just wanting to hear me boast about it. Legate's Juri is good, in the fact that I think Legate is a really good player, and he universally, on that level, understands a lot about the game, and he can see what Juri is capable of and is able to impart that in his own ways to use it. That said, though, I think that if Legate, like, understood, like, everything that Juri has, like, all the things, like her ability to work inside, outside Feng Shui Engine stuff. Like, I don't really see him use Feng Shui Engine all that much, like how to be resets with that. If he gets a lot of the tech that a lot of the Juri players are using, I think his Juri could be really, really scary. So yeah, inside Feng Shui Engine. We don't have this buff anymore, or we don't have that buff, but it's going to get changed. So that's fine. Now, speaking of changes that are happening inside and outside of Feng Shui, one of the things that got changed in Juri from way back, going from Arcade Edition to version 2012, is that... Oh, not button config. They forgot, like, the stand jab... Or, I'm sorry, going from... They changed her close medium punch to... It used to be a 5-frame startup, that right there. It's now a 3-frame startup. It's one of Juri's 2 3-frame normals. That being the other one, the close light kick, and that being one. Well, they forgot to change it to be a 3-frame normal in 2012. So, it ended up being 5-frame normal. It didn't really matter a lot in a whole bunch of places with Juri, but it did limit one really key thing. Let's see if I can land it. I was trying to practice it earlier. I was having a hard time. With it being a 5-frame normal, it limited her ability to do a combo. Now, they changed it in 2012. It's now a 3-frame normal inside of Feng Shui. So, where does this come into play? Well, first off, you're going to have the pressure now that's better, whereas that would have been... That's now a lot better. So if they're blocking, that can actually probably be used as a typical frame trap now. So let's say they're crouching. So you can get a big damage. You won't get the light kick, but you'll get the other ones after that. So it being another frame trap inside of Feng Shui is actually really useful. Now, one of the things that you almost never see a Juri do, probably because it's a bit hard to do, with it being a 5-frame normal, you can actually combo into Ultra 1. Alright? Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. So, you can actually combo into Ultra 1 off of a Fireball, typically to like how you would do with, okay, I still got the Fireball. Like you would do Ultra 2. So, for example... I messed it up. Let me start it over. So that is actually now a combo. It was a combo before. It was just about a 1-frame. So now, it's a lot easier of a link. That was a combo into Feng Shui, which is something you almost never see Juris do, due to the fact that for so long we've never really had a good way to combo into Ultra, except for, you know, something like that. Something like and then we get that. But by the time they're down, you've got it juggling. So, with it being a 3-frame normal now, which is what it should have been from the beginning, we have the ability to get this. So let's say we want to maximize damage. You will have to FADC to combo it. The reason being is that you are positive 10 on Fireball, just a normal Fireball, positive 10 right there, which is why combos like this work. Oops, if I can hit it. That's why that works. So it's positive 10. Now, what you have to factor in for something like this, Juri's Feng Shui Engine is 0 plus 1, meaning that it's instant startup, but you do have 1 frame of freeze, okay? So, you might be able to get away with, like, something like that. It's going to be a 1 frame, but you have to factor in you still have the startup of the normals after Feng Shui Engine, okay?
The battle
So,
has begun.
being FADCable, let's say for example you were doing Ultra 2. You would do it like that. Ultra 2 is actually a 2-frame link because of it's a 7-frame startup. So, you've got to factor in not only the fireball hitting plus 10, but you still got the dash you got to count in too. So, Fireball FADC Ultra 2 is like a 2-frame link, I believe. Okay? So, because of that, you've got to have the huge hit stun and the 3-frame normal after the Feng Shui engine. So, that's how come it's a combo now. But yes, you will have to FADC it in order to combo it. Now, you might be able to get away with, like, as far as other combos, I don't think it'll work. Some characters it might, but like, say for example, counter hit, jab, activate might be possibility with characters like Rufus that has weird rare back hitboxes whenever you hit them, to where they rear back a little bit different than others and you've got a little bit more time. It might be a possibility. I've been trying to work and see if I can find anything. Normally though, because it's only going to give you +2 on a counter hit off of a jab, it's going to be 9 frames. So it's a bit hard to do, let's see, what am I doing right now? Oh, changing that to counter hit. So you might be able to get something like this, but it's going to be really, really hard. We're talking top level type Juri play in order to get that. It's still another possibility for it as well. As far as like the even weirder type of combos that you can do with Juri, as far as comboing into Ultra 1, it's going to be stuff off of like jumps. So you would, oops. Oh, I fucked it up. So, but none of those are really good situations. So you've got that. So that's not normally a combo that you would be able to hit. You do got that, but you've got to catch with the jump normal. You've got to activate, and even then it's only going to get a reset. As far as, like, solid, this is what's good ways to combo in it. Fireball FADC is probably going to be the best one. But as I said, it's not really going to be played all that often. I'm not sure if it, or be used all that often. I'm not sure if it's because juries are not ready to start using that due to it never having been worked before, due to the fact that they forgot to change it and it should have been in a long time ago. So, that's it. I mean, it's still a good buff. It's still, like I said, it's got the block string potential, the frame trap potential. It's also got the ability to combo to Ultra 1. So it's still a good buff. I mean, even, not really a buff, it's more of a fix that should have already happened. Alright? So, we got that.
The curtain is raised.
What are her bad matchups in 2012 that improved in Ultra? That's a good question. The biggest one is Sakura. That matchup used to be Juri's worst matchup due to jump heavy punch being just so stupidly good. But now, because of the EX pinwheel buff, making it fully invincible, you now have the option to anti-air it, crouch fierce, because of the change of her hitboxes on jump fierce, is a better anti-air for it now. Definitely made that matchup a lot easier. A lot of people used to say it was like pretty deep 6-4 in Sakura's favor, almost teetering to 7-3. Now I think it's even. I think it's 5-5 between Juri and Sakura. So that's another good one that happened. Honda's another one that I think changed as well. A lot of people put Honda probably her second worst matchup. A couple changes made that a little bit easier. First off being EX headbutt not going so far, being punishable, is actually really good because now you can do an EX pinwheel to punish it as well. I actually was just at Super Arcade last week, and I had a chance to sit and talk with Mike Ross. He said that Juri versus Honda is actually 7-3 now. He says it is horrible for Juri, so I asked him to explain it a little bit better for me. And he said the reason being is that, first off, he didn't think it was as bad as a lot of the Juri said. That was his opinion. But Juri can zone out Honda with medium kick fireball, which is nothing new. She's always been able to. But now, Juri can punish him for just throwing out headbutts, so it makes it a lot easier. She's got the anti-air ability, so if he decides to jump over the fireball, we've got all these anti-airs, including the new one with EX Pinwheel. So it makes it a lot harder for Honda. I put it even. He says 7-3. I think he may be exaggerating. It may be 6-4 Juri, but it definitely dumbed down the matchup. I don't have to think so hard when playing it, I feel. It doesn't mean that a Honda can't absolutely smash me. I mean, anybody can. If they just, abuse the wake-up game and make sure I don't have meter, it's obviously going to be a lot better for him. As far as vice versa, what matchups possibly got worse for Juri? I think Bison got worse for Juri. His EX Scissor going through fireballs from full screen is a huge buff, so it makes it a lot harder to zone Bison out than it was in 2012. You know what? That's the only one that I can think of off the top of the head. I actually have to think more as far as like matchups that got worse for Juri. That definitely, I think, is pretty bad. Why do a lot of players immediately pick Ultra 2 against grapplers? Well, I'll touch on it briefly. Mostly because Ultra 1 is a Ultra that you're going to pick when you're going to try and get in on close against people. And grapplers are not really somebody you want to get close on all the time. Real quick to deviate, I'll show you something that I'm going to go into in another lesson. So, let's go over this. Yeah, it's not really related to tonight's lesson, but just to show you something real quick to answer that, I'll show you why Ultra 2 would be better than Ultra 1. So, everybody knows about all the Rufus stuff. Armor cancel into Ultra 1. Yes, that is definitely something I'm going to do probably way later in the lessons, but there it is. So, the reason is the ability, especially against taller characters like Rufus Geef and Hugo. You have the ability to do dive kick into Ultra True, which is one of the trials. So, let's see how much damage that does. Right. Oh, you're talking about your question. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to have a whole entire lesson dedicated to Ultra 1 as well. So, we see that it does 434 damage. That's a good bit of damage, okay? Now, real quick, like I said, I'll go over this in another lesson, but just to show you, you've got the ability to do some really good stuff against tall characters, and this is the reason why I think Ultra 2 is good. You can do... That was a reset. Okay, I'll show you again. That's a ton of damage to do against a tall character like that. So, that's why I would say Ultra 2 over Ultra 1. Now, if you're just A+ on your game with Ultra 1, go for it. It can still lead to as much damage, but in a characters like grapplers that are traditionally a lot taller, it's a lot of damage that you could be missing. So, alright, so, speaking of Ultra 2, something that got changed with Ultra 2 is, actually I should check and make sure that this works in 2012 as well. Juri's, Ultra 2 used to not, it still isn't, used to not be a good anti-air Ultra, okay? All the times they would jump, you would anti-air, they would fall through, it's not that great, things like that. So, they did change the vertical hitbox on it, making it a little bit more anti-airable. Still not a reliable one, but, it's a lot better. Okay? Alright, completely whiffs. So, for example, actually, I got counter hit still on, yes. So, which in order to do this, for anybody wondering, you have to negative edge it, but it whiffs, alright? Now, let's switch back over to Ultra, and let's check out this new vertical hitbox on her Ultra 2, see what kind of possibilities it leads up to.
Will you be the last warrior standing?
Alright, so now we're in Ultra. Let's go up against Bison again, okay?
Training stage. Fight locale.
Alright, so in the previous version, completely
Are you
normal,
ready?
completely whiffed.
Fight!
Well, if I can hit my negative edge. Now look what happens. We get Ultra. So, with the vertical hitbox on Ultra 2 happening, there are a lot of characters that you're able to hit full screen, or mid-screen, into Ultra 2. So, for example, like say for Bison, I mean, now obviously, a situation like this, that's where you're going to try and hit it. You get it knocked down, you fake the jump in, you get the Ultra 2. Okay. As well as, you know, just kind of a mind games thing, it's also a lot easier to combo into it from mid-screen. I'm always fucking it up on this side. So, there you go. Comboed into Ultra 2 mid-screen. No corner needed, which is mostly where you would see the negative edge ultras were mostly comboed in the corner when you already had them, where they had no place else to go. So they're stuck here, having to deal with it. That's mostly where you saw it, and anybody can get hit with that, with the exception of, I think, Geef and maybe one other character. They just don't get hit. Now that you have a higher hitbox in Ultra, you have the ability to hit it full screen, which is huge damage, especially if you're a type of person that, you know, like most juries are going to be having a fireball charge. You're playing the footsie game, you know, we're waddling, we're coming in and out, we're throwing normals, we're whiffing this. Now you just got 300 and something damage that you just got from mid-screen off of a footsie. Now, the same amount of damage could be done just by a regular that as well. Now, like I said, it's a little bit tighter of a link. The other one was 439. That's 452. So you're going to get a little bit more damage off of doing the FADC. Other than hit. How do I ultra while storing a fireball? Okay. I will. It's called negative edging. Okay. Let me give you about 2 minutes on how to do negative edge. It's not really in tonight's lesson. It'll something I'll be able to go in deeper. Okay. So now you're gonna want to watch the inputs over here. Okay. All right. So we all know the fireball is quarter circle forward, and you hold down a button to do it. Quarter circle forward, kick. Okay. So here, actually, let's use this. Okay. Quarter circle back. That's her counter move. You do the thing. Now, what negative edge is if you hold down the button. Now, I'm going to hold it down right now, and now all you're going to see is just inputs after this. Okay. With negative edge, you do quarter circle back and release it. You notice how there was absolutely no button press, but I still got the counter. That's because the game reads releasing a button just as if you were pushing the button down. Okay? So, in order to do that, you fireball charge, and then you hit the other two buttons while the animation's happening. Now you'll watch whenever I do it, I'm going to do that and then those real quick. Quarter circle forward, release all three, move comes out. It's a little bit more of a technical move. You're going to want to practice it, definitely. But like I said, in the corner, you get a hit. Anyway, see, I actually accidentally negative edge, so that's how you do negative edges in there as well. Definitely practice it. It's something if you're wanting to up your game that you're going to want to have in your arsenal as Juri. Definitely very effective, especially with the new vertical hitbox change in Ultra, being able to hit characters. Doesn't hit everybody mid-screen. You're going to want to sit down. I don't have a list prepared to tell you, but you're going to want to test it to make sure who it all hits on. Okay? So, as far as like Juri's specific changes, that's pretty much what I want to cover. She had a lot more. Her forward heavy kick is airborne on different frames. They changed this and that. But of all the ones that I've talked about, those are pretty much the main ones that you will want to use on a regular or semi-regular basis. So let's talk about a couple of other things that were Ultra Street Fighter 4 specific. Delay wake up being the biggest one, okay? So, how am I going to do this? Let's see if I can remember. So, delay wake up is, once you, hey, no problem, man. Delay wake up is a new mechanic that they added into Street Fighter 4. Ultra Street Fighter 4. Normally, you've got two types of knockdowns. Soft knockdowns that you can push a button and instantly quick rise as soon as you hit the ground. And hard knockdowns that you can't. For example, sweep. So, sweep, you've got a hard knockdown. Now, what you're going to do a delay wake up is you're going to hit two buttons just like as if you were quick rising, okay? So, let's see. Oh, actually, I need to... I'll just show you that in the game. Okay, that's when I get up. Okay? If you quick rise, you'll see the technical thing appear on the screen, and you're actually going to wake up a little bit later, like I think it's up to 6 frames later. Technical! I did it too late. Too late. Technical. I was actually a little bit slower on waking up, so where does that play into the game in Ultra Street Fighter 4? Not only that, but with Juri in particular. Well, Juri's always had a bad wake-up options. EX Pinwheel can get baited, and it's negative. It was negative 14, now it's even more negative, and it sucks him in. EX Counter can get armor broke, EX Counter can get baited. So Juri was typically one of the worst, well, I wouldn't say one of the worst, she had pretty bad wake-up. Alright? Yeah, you can, I mean, I think it has to at least be 2 buttons. You can probably do 3 or more, okay? So, I am bad with Akuma, so let's see if I can do a setup. Okay. I think that looked right. So. Okay. So now we have to block it. You see what happened? Okay. So before, if I don't tech it, if I don't do a delayed wake up, I have to block. Hold back, okay? I've got to block. I don't get to escape. Juri's got slow, Juri's got a slow, walk speed. So, I'm forced to have to block this, okay? Can't walk away. Now it's delay wake up. Nope, fucked it up. That whiffs. You wait those 5 to 6 frames more that Juri can stay on the ground longer, can screw up wake up. So what happens? How does that work? Armor break. Well, I didn't have him block, but you know, you do stuff like that. Now, let's delay wake up, see what happens. Oh, screwing it up. Sorry, guys. I'm phasing out. I'm still. This is definitely one of the changes I myself am having to get used to. So we delay wake up. Come on. Okay. Oop, I screwed up his jab. So it could lead to more options. For example, I think this will work. I think I can dash under. Oh, I can't. Anyway, you get the gist. I mean, chances are you probably already know about delay wake up. So, it definitely helps Juri get out of the vortex, which covers a portion of the game with Juri having weak wake up. So, that's definitely something that is very useful. Like I said, I'm still even getting used to it myself. It's one of the few things that I haven't nailed down yet. So, definitely helps. I'll probably do a little more research to get a little bit better, more examples. I'll probably throw it in on another another lesson as well. So the other thing that got added into Ultra Street Fighter 4 is red focus. So, normally we've got two types of focus. We've got regular focus, which you hold by medium punch, medium kick. Any matchups where delay wake up is crucial. Akuma, basically a lot of the Vortex heavy characters, Akuma being the first one that comes to mind. Being able to throw him off of his Vortex is definitely helpful, especially Ibuki being another one. If you can throw their Vortex off, especially people that are more reliant on it for the fact that they're just going to keep fishing and fishing for a wake-up or for a knockdown and then go into their Vortex, if you can throw their Vortex off, that can give you a chance to escape. They now have to work their way back in again. They now have to try and fish for another type of knockdown in order to start the Vortex again. They're going to have to play a more solid footsie-type game if you can continually get out. That said, delay wake-up is a universal feature in the game now, so it's not a matter of where delay wake up, you know, I use it in this one. No, it should be used in all matchups. Everybody is going to have some kind of Oki, okay? You know, did I throw? I got you in the corner, okay? Did I go high? Okay? What am I going to do now? Backdash, normal. I threw you in the corner this time. Okay, well what am I going to do this time? Maybe I go back. I went low. I could have gotten negative at ultra. So every character has the ability to Oki on your knockdown, so delay wake up something you're going to use. The crucial ones, the ones that are like, look, if you don't use this, you're just going to get run over and you're not adapting to the new game. Vortex characters like Akuma, Ibuki, Cammy to some extent, although she still has got a lot that gets covered by her Oki. So, back to red focus. So as we said, we've already saw the first focus that we had. Now, that's medium punch, medium kick. If you do light punch, medium kick, you get red focus. Okay? Okay, now, where does red focus come into play? Well, you've probably already seen it, but I'll go ahead and show you again. Okay. So, red focus has the ability to absorb an infinite amount of things. Alright. So, how does that play? Alright. So, we've all seen this. Game's been out for months now. We all already know about all this. So, where does red focus come in with Juri? Not so much as I would like to, but there is a couple instances, okay? Something you have to understand with Juri, as far as like combos, damage, scaling, and stuff like that. Most of Juri's combos are going to end in a pinwheel. That is 4 hits that is going to be tacked automatically on the end of all her combos. So Juri has to actually worry a little bit about getting the most out of her combos, which is actually going to be another lesson soon, maximizing your damage potential with Juri. So, a good example of this is... Okay? So let's say we've got this combo. We're going to go crouch medium kick, release the fireball, FADC, crouch fierce, pinwheel. 288 damage, okay? Well, let's throw a 1 frame in there, okay? 1 frames are good. Oops, I gotta hit it. If I can hit it. I should have practiced today. I'm not gonna set him on auto block? No. So. 288. So, this is where scaling comes into play. Now, stuff like that, 141. Pinwheel, gonna scale a lot more because instead of just going for the fireball charge, which is 1 extra hit, you've got 4. So, where does red focus come into play? Not so much. You can get combos. Obviously, the first one that most people go to is stuff like canceling red focus into Ultra. Let's go Balrog again. I was practicing against him. So, red focus into Ultra is instantly, free Ultra 2. You're going to have your scaling a little bit, actually a lot bit, because focus on top of that plus red focus. So if you cancel it out of a move, It's automatically a crumple, so we're looking at... I don't know if I can hit it. You're talking about the crumple. So you've got your Ultra 2. Okay.
The battle has begun. Fight!
Where would red focus be useful in this situation? I'm still trying to work with it. Just like Delay Wake Up, I'm having time. A couple of the things that I found is really weird well, not weird situations, but the not so common situations, okay? So, here is one example that I'm definitely going to use red focus on, okay? Counter hits, okay? Right here, this can be comboed into stand jab off of a counter hit alone, okay? So, you've got the option of doing that. Oops. If I can hit it, you can go into that. Well, where it runs into a problem is right here. Uh-oh. We're not hitting this anymore. Well, crap. But you can do that. Now, say you get the counter hit. 224. Here is where I think red focus can actually help. Okay, so we go combo like that. That's where I'm finding that red focus is there. Okay, because we already know that if we do the medium kick pinwheel, it's going to scale because that's 3 extra hits. But we red focus after the first hit of the light kick pinwheel. Look at that, 220 beforehand, or 224. So, yes, it costs 3 bars, but that's something that is can be useful with Juri, aside from just your typical, I want to absorb a ton of damage and stuff like that. Alright? So, I've got about 3 minutes left on the lesson. I know that there's going to be a delay, so if anybody's got any kind of a question that they want to do as far as transitioning Juri to Ultra, hopefully it's only a 30-second delay. I maybe can answer 1 or 2 before I kill the stream for tonight. But go ahead and answer them or ask them in chat, and I'll see if maybe I can knock out a question or so. Otherwise, just to recap, as far as Juri's changes, far stand medium punch is so good, really good. Best buff they could have given Juri. You've now got pressure that you can do that you couldn't do before. EX Pinwheel is now fully invincible. Alright? Not a bad buff as well. Stand Jab hits crouchers now. No more Balrog, or actually Balrog could get hit before. No more Camis being able to duck under the things. All this that we can do now this time, alright? Stand Medium Punch, being in Feng Shui Engine. I don't have Feng Shui Engine loaded up, but we saw that you can hit confirm it into Ultra 1. It's great. Ultra 2 hitboxes. Oh, if I can hit the negative edge, which I can't. Boom! Now we're hitting Ultras mid-screen. Look at that. Look at Ryu. Evil Ryu's got all these combos. We can get them too now. Maybe not so much damage, but that was 435 without needing to corner like we used to have to before. Alright? We've got our delay wake up that we've seen. We've got our red focuses that we've done. There's a lot that Juri can do in Ultra. So much so that it takes a lot to incorporate it. So, hopefully with these lessons, as I'm going to keep doing them, I'll be able to go and maybe better explain it as well, help people transition over. We need more better Juri players. We need people who are good at Juri instead of just your typical online Juri. Does Juri not being able to dive kick off a back jump hurt her in any way? Alright, got about 45 seconds, so no. And here's why. There were a few chances that are a few things to where, like, for example, jump back fireballs. You can still do it off of, like I said, you can still do it off of EX. You can still jump back EX, okay? person does a fireball, you were jumping back anyway, good, you get to punish him. Now, if you look at any kind of a Juri that's, say, a top Juri player in Japan, they never really use jump back dive kick all that much, okay? So if you're looking to up your game to a better level, chances are you probably shouldn't have been using jump back dive kick as much in 2012. So it's something you probably should have already tried to cut out of your game as much. Jump or dive kick is already safe unless you're spacing it right, and it's a lot harder to space it on a jump back because you got to factor that in. So no, I would say that it did not hurt her that much because it was not really something that Juri should have been using that much to where it affected her game. All right, so thank you for checking out my lesson. Not too sure when I'm going to be streaming again. Hopefully more frequently. If you want to do the whole subscribe or follow me on Twitch or check out my Twitter, which I forgot to post to Twitter tonight, to find out when I am going to be doing more lessons. I guess that would be the better way. Otherwise, just if you see me on, go ahead and do that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Everybody have a good night.